Hello students, today we will start class 10th sectors of Indian economics. This is economics lesson 2. We talk about economic activities. Economic activities means any activities which we do to earn or produce money. That activities are called economic activities. Further, we divide economic activities into various groups. So, economic activities are classified into groups using some facts. First is sectors of Indian economy: primary sector, secondary sector, and tertiary sector. Primary sector means the economic activities which we directly do with nature, or we extract or produce natural resources, for example, agriculture, fishing, mining, etc. Second is secondary sector. This sector is also called industrial sector. Through this sector, we use primary goods and convert it into useful product. So the economic activities which are related to manufacturing process like steel, these are called secondary sector. Now we talk about tertiary sector. These activities by themselves do not produce a good, but they are an aid or a support for production process. For example, goods that are produced in the primary or secondary sector would need to be transported by trucks or trains and then sold in wholesale and retail shops. Since these activities generate services rather than goods, it is also known as service sectors. So in service sectors, we can keep different activities like transportation, banking, insurance, etc. These three sectors means primary sector, secondary sector and tertiary sector are interdependent on each other. Now, gross domestic product GDP. The value of final goods and services produced in each sector during a particular year provides the total production of the sector for that year, and the sum of production in the three sectors give the gross domestic product, means GDP. So GDP means the value of all final goods and services produced in these three sectors, means primary, secondary and tertiary, in a particular year or financial year. That sum is called GDP or gross domestic product. But the calculation of GDP is a mammoth task because it is not done by any one department. For this, we want data from all the states, union territories. So, this calculation of GDP is done by central government. Now, historical changes. We initially found that we, the Indian or our country, is known as agricultural country, but now it changed the production style and speed, and because of the demand of tertiary sector, so there is historical change. So initial stage, all developed countries depend upon primary sector, but after entering of secondary sector, change the production style and speed. This is because the demands of people. This demand only led to the growth of tertiary sector. Why tertiary sector more important? Because it provides basic services. Means this sector is also called service sector because it provides services to primary, secondary sector. Increase in income, growth of IT sector, globalization and urbanization. Now classification on the basis of ownership means classification of economy on the basis of ownership, that is public and private. Private sector. It is owned by individual person, means ownership of assets and delivery of services is in the hand of private individuals or private companies. Now, public sector. This government, this sector was owned by government, means its assets and all other activities are related to government. That is why it is called public sector. Now, classification on the basis of employment. So, we can divide our economy into organized and unorganized sector. Organized sector means people have assured work and terms of employment which are regular. Or we can say organized sector is government sector or public sector. Organized sectors have regular jobs, assured work, registered by the government, follow rules and regulations, has some formal processes and procedures. It has some benefits also. It provides paid leaves, payment during holidays, provident fund, gratuity, medical benefits, work get pension after retirement. Even it has time limit. Time limit means particular working hour, fixed working hour. Now, unorganized sector, it consists of small and scattered which are not in the control of government. It has low pay and unsecured job. It can also comes in private sector. Unorganized sector are characterized by small and scattered unit which are largely outside the control of the government. These are rules and regulations, but they don't follow. They paid low jobs and not job is not regular. Some disadvantage: there is no provision for overtime, paid leaves, holidays, leave dues to sickness. Employment is not secure. For example, farmers work in their own and hire laborers as and when they required. Some people can also be asked to leave when the job is over. How to protect the unorganized sector workers? By making law such as the Factory Law, Minimum Wages Act, fixed time, by provided guarantee of jobs, timing of job and work. Unemployment. Unemployment means when a person is willing to do job and he have that skills and education, but even though he is not able to get job, it is called unemployment. Now let's differentiate between under unemployment and seasonal unemployment. So under unemployment means disguised unemployment where more people working than required. So work less than their potential. It happens in rural area where entire family work in a field. Now seasonal unemployment, it also seen in rural area where getting job for particular season or period of year and remain unemployed for rest of the period, like small landowners who work only for rainy seasons. How to protect worker in unorganized sector? Setting up small scale industries in semi-rural areas, implementing many programs such as Narega, creating job opportunities in service sector like school, tourism, hospitals, all allow credits at a low interest rate so people are able to open their own organization and provide jobs to other. The role of government in generating employment. For this, government can develop education and health center, develop infrastructure in rural area, provide cheap credit, develop tourism, promote industries in urban area as well as rural area, and launching projects like Narega. Now let's talk about Narega. It is sometimes also called Manrega. Narega means National Rural Employment Guarantee Act and implemented from 2005. But as I have told you, it is also known as Manrega. Manrega means Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Act. It was started by the central government, made a law implementing right to work in 200 districts of the India. All those who are in need of work will get guaranteed 100 days work. If government is not able to provide them job, it's government responsibility to provide them allowances instead of job. The work will of the type which will in future help to increase the production from land. How to protect the unorganized sector worker? By making laws such as Factory Act, minimum wages, guarantee of job and time, etc. Thank you and have a nice day.